Here we are, the Vacuous Perspective. I'm Val. Nate, how are things?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. How are you?
Pretty good.
Just a regular Tuesday night for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ate some nachos.
Yeah.
That's been me, just working and eating nachos.
Excellent. You did the ride on the weekend.
Yeah, I did actually. I'm glad you prompted me on that because I'd actually forgotten about it.
So
Did the Macca 200.
The Macca 200.
And in a nutshell, it's a charity bike ride where you start in Perth, you go a bit of a circuitous route through to Mandurah, do 110 Ks on the first day, stay over in Mandurah, they put on some grub and some beers, and then you do about 95 Ks along the coast back to Perth.
Beautiful.
And Optus Stadium, yeah, you raise a bunch of money for cancer research and everyone has a good time.
Yeah. I saw some of the photos from the weekend. It looked great.
Yeah. It was there was 16 in our team.
That's a big team. Is it growing?
Yeah, it's grown from 10 last year to 16. And
so what's next year then? It'd be 20.
I reckon our growth rate, I think it's early to call, but I think it may be exponential.
No way.
There's a lot of chat in our group chat at the moment. Yep. Pretty much everyone that did it this year has signed up again instantly.
That's great. That's great.
One of our mates who did it on an e-bike that didn't really do any practice rides and doesn't ride, literally sent me a photo today of his new bike that he's bought. Not an e-bike.
But he's all in.
Yeah. I mean, they're not cheap. Even if you got it secondhand, it looks sick. It'd be at least $2,000.
Wow. Okay. We're talking serious bicycles.
Yeah, serious bicycles. We raised, as the 16 of us, raised 65,000.
That's so good, man.
And the 1,600 riders on the day raised 8.3 mil.
Man, so good.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not too shabby at all. And then lots of our mates that don't ride, don't do a lot of real exercise, have sort of gotten on this in a big way. And they're doing it fine. Like I told them they'll be fine.
110 the first day, 90 on the way. So it's 200 Ks.
Yeah.
And you're going to be fine.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Bicycles are so good, man. They're so efficient. You get a proper road bike, they just like drive themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were riding as a team on day. Well, both days I was riding with people, but we split up more on the first day. Second day, we all crossed the line together. We did most of it riding in a group, just chatting, and that was way more fun.
That's great.
And it's not fast, but we averaged over 25 Ks an hour for the whole. Well, I averaged over 25 Ks an hour for the whole 200, and I was like all day too, where we were just riding with the slowest person. We averaged over 25 Ks. So that's how good like these bikes are.
Yeah, that's great. But how would I go on like an entry level bike?
I think you'd be fine. My girlfriend bought one for $600 and she gets through it.
Yep.
You should think about it.
Because you're not the first person who's tried to recruit me, you know?
Yeah, you're getting the hard word from some of our mates.
Yeah, no, look, it's a great cause, obviously.
Yeah.
You can't say it's not a great cause. The biking element of it, if they had some sort of like, I don't know, like marathon gaming charity, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Right? I'm all in. But that's like the part of it is, right? For me, I'm not going to jump on a bike and do 200 Ks for fun, right? I haven't acquired that particular taste, to ride bikes for long distances.
Okay.
I haven't because I haven't done it, right? So I can't have acquired the taste. It's an inevitable thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if it was something like that I enjoyed a lot, right? Then it would be fun, right? But you guys seem to be having fun.
I think we are.
So is this like this is a pastime that you enjoy and you get to do it for charity?
Oh, it's a win-win. And so
Yeah.
you have to raise a minimum of $2,500 when you sign up. So when you sign up,
Okay.
you tell them that they say, like, so I just literally re-signed for next year. And when you're signing up, they say, you will have to raise $2,500. To the extent you do not, you have to put it in yourself.
Yeah. Sure. But
But I've always
is that dependent on how many people you're bringing?
no.
No. So your team could be up to what's the number there?
Well, you'd have as many people as you want in your team.
Yeah.
With if they sign up in advance, we should rickroll the Macca 200, and we just all enroll. We get 1,600 people together in the one team, and we just aggressively sign up on the as soon as it opens.
What, and only raise?
No, we all raise the 2.5 or plus, but we'll all be in the one outfit, and we'll have 1,500 of the 1,600 riders are part of the Rick Roll Rollers.
Right, and you're doing this to what? Troll the event, or
we'll still raise money
here?
I don't know. I think because like the Rick Rollers actually would be a pretty sick team name.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We're not trying to troll the event. I think people.
No, you don't want to take entries away from people who legitimately, obviously want to make lots of money.
That's true. But the 1,500 people that will sign up might want to also make lots of money. But,
they will. They absolutely will.
One of our mates raised nearly 8,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And everyone got through it without any accidents.
Did you guys, when you're all squatted up, did you have like commands that you could say like form Voltron? Maybe not Voltron, but like form the peloton, and you guys like get into a nice. Do you have any of that sort of happen?
Like a flying V?
Yeah, get a flying V going maybe.
No, we didn't do a flying V, but we did just do a regular peloton. And we did a bit of an Indian line thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
what's that?
Well, we just sort of rode in a line, sometimes single file.
Yeah, single Indian file, wheel to wheel.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it Indian file.
But okay.
Do they run in lines? I don't know. But
don't know. Stormtroopers do.
They run in lines?
Yeah, to hide their numbers.
But you have to... Does it really have the effect of hiding the numbers? Like, it's...
Yeah, well, you're walking in, like, let's say, because he's in a desert environment, it's on sand, they're walking in each other's footsteps.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I thought that someone was looking at them and you'd just see this, unless the line is coming directly at you and there's no elevation gain or loss, you'd just be like, I can just see the line of guys behind you. Yeah,
sure. No. Visibility is still an issue when you're an army in the desert.
Yeah, but I see. So it just looks like one bloke. So you think,
if someone comes along and finds the tracks,
it's just
they go, don't know how many there are, but if they all ran in a big line together, like army formation style, they'd be like, man, there's like 20 dudes.
Yeah, min or whatever.
And that was Obi-Wan's sage advice to Luke early in A New Hope.
Was it? Yeah, okay. I don't know why I don't remember that. But
there's a lot of things. Star Wars is full of stuff you don't remember.
Hey, they're definitely full of stuff I don't remember. I haven't really.
Maybe we should do the hardest Star Wars quiz on the internet and see how you go.
Oh, I'll embarrass myself, but okay.
No, I'll also be answering the questions. I want to. It's sort of a more of a, we'll see how we go because I won't
I'll
pass
back
this.
you in. I'll back you in. Yeah, if we're doing it together, I'll have you on
It
my
says
team.
it says here only 3% can pass this Star Wars quiz. Are they for real?
And so passing is just 50% plus.
All right, it's multiple choice. How good's this? So we're gonna ace this.
I think we'll be all right.
Question 1.
Yeah.
In A New Hope, Leia is kept on the Death Star in what cell number? Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
2187, 4871, 4, 1178.
Shit. I thought if there was one with a B in there, I was going to go with one with a B.
Yeah, okay. What you were thinking was like cell. No, it's like cell block.
I think it's one of the four. I think it's one of the 4-digit ones.
I think it is too. I got a feeling it's 1178 because I think that's a George Lucasy number.
Do you ever hear so this is in New Hope. Okay.
Yeah, they would have to unlock her cell, right, to get in there because Luke goes in there and takes off his helmet and goes, "I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you."
Let's go. Let's lock in 1178.
Let's do it. We're wrong.
What was it?
2187. I feel bad.
That was an honest mistake. All right, let's go number 2. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Brush it off.
What were the jobs of Luke's Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen on Tatooine? What were their jobs? Easy. They were either dewback farmers, miners, moisture farmers, or scavengers.
Well, I
What do you think?
don't think they were scavengers, were they? Lots of people on there are scavengers, but they weren't. Right?
No. They're living in a nice place.
Yeah. Well, the other one's a moisture farmer. Interesting. What were
It's
the
either
other
moisture
options?
farmers, miners, or dewback farmers for you.
What is a dewback?
It's those big looking things that the stormtroopers ride in the desert.
I don't think
the
it's
lizardy
those.
things.
I
They're big
didn't see
lizardy
those.
things.
So we can rule those out.
All right, yeah. So are we going with miners or moisture farmers?
I'm going to go with the moisture farmer.
You're correct. They're definitely moisture farmers.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
You know why I went with that?
Go on.
The book Dune is apparently Star Wars is based off that book Dune, and moisture is so critical. Like the spice runs and things like that they talk about, and all that shit. That's like a complete. It doesn't really make sense in Star Wars because there's no focus on spice. But that's just a
There
rip
sort
off.
of is in later movies. They focus on something called what's it called? Yeah, it's pretty much exactly spice.
Is it? What's it called? It might be a question. Let's hope it's not a question because we don't remember it. But yeah, I went with moisture farmer because it seems very Juney.
It is quite Junie. It's also quite Tatooine-y.
Yeah. I
What do you need
those dewbacks or whatever they're called are very, very Tatooine as well, but doesn't really, I never saw those roaming around in a paddock.
Well, the funny thing is they weren't even in the show really until the special edition. They just chucked a couple of stormtroopers on them to ride around in the desert going, "Wah." I think you see one at a very, very long distance in the original, but you can't really tell what it is.
It almost sounds a little bit anti-Semitic.
What do you mean?
Just a dewback.
A dewback. I think they're going for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how many questions there are in this quiz.
Well, so far we're passing right now.
We're doing okay. Yeah, 1 out of 2. That's not bad. How many languages does C-3PO claim to be fluent in?
It's a lot.
Okay. Is it more than 6 million, 200, 12, or 6,000?
More than, was it 6 million?
Yeah, more than 6 million.
I'm going to go with more than 6 million because he's
more than 6 million is correct.
Yeah, okay.
Well done. You're on fire, man.
You wouldn't think there's that many languages in the universe, but maybe there are.
This is a tough question. Fuck the person who made this quiz. What character is partially named after George Lucas's son? I don't know his son's name, but the options are Ben Solo, Bren Derlin, Derek Hobby Clivian or Dexter Jetster? The only one that makes sense is Dexter Jetster.
Why is that?
Because he's the only character apart from Ben Solo that I actually know from Star Wars. And it's not going to be Ben Solo. He's not going to have a son called Ben, right? He can't.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. Because in A New Hope, Obi-Wan is referred to as Ben.
Yeah, okay.
Old Ben. Like, you wouldn't... That's weird.
All right, let's lock in Dexter Jetster.
All right, we'll lock in Dexter Jetster. I feel sick if it's these other ones because I have no idea who they are.
That's how hard the quiz is.
We got it.
Wow, man, we're almost on a high distinction.
Lucas named this character inspired by his adopted son, Jet. Well, that's funny because I thought it was actually his name was going to be Dexter, but it was the Jet bit.
So we got lucky. Yeah. Well, this is what happens when it's a multiple choice quiz.
Who is the lead singer of Jabba the Hutt's house band? Is it Duda Bodonawilidu? Is it her? Is it Cy Snoodles? Is it Droopy McCool? Or is it Lynn Me?
I'm going to go Droopy McCool.
But it's a lady.
Oh, is it? I just love that name.
I'm going to name a lady Droopy McCool. Could you
please read those four
right,
again?
It's quite simple. If you need the question again, I mean, bloody hell. Who is the lead singer of Jabba the Hutt's house band? Is it Doda Bodonanowilidu? Bodonawilidu. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Cy Snoodles, Droopy McCool, Lynn Me. Okay, for me, it's between Lynn Me and Cy Snoodles. All right.
Not the first one. The first one's pretty epic as well. I just like the name.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to. If you go to your Discord,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to share this quiz, right?
Yeah.
So that you can see it, so that you can see what this, because you need to see this picture.
Yeah. Okay. So you're live. You're live.
Yeah. Just click that.
Yeah. All right.
Who is the lead singer of Jabba the Hutt's band? Is it Doda Bodonawilidu, Cy Snoodles, Droopy McCool, Lynn Me?
Let's go with Cy Snoodles for that.
She looks like a good idea.
Yeah, she looks like a Cy.
She does look a bit like a
snooty. She's so snooty. Wow.
We got it.
Wow. How many questions are there?
I don't know.
Killing it. 4 or 5?
That's how many we've got so far. 4 out of 5.
Oh, I see.
4 question streak.
Wow.
We're on a streak. What species is Jar Jar Binks? Easy. I don't even think you should need these options.
Gungan, right?
Yeah, there you go. Gungan. Someone watched the prequels. Well done.
Let's just read out the others for the other people. Gungans.
The other options were Chiss,
Sarlacc, Absin.
Yeah.
Abison.
Do you know what any of those are?
No. Sarlacc maybe? Sounds familiar?
Yeah. Do you know what Sarlacc is?
No.
It's the pit that they were going to chuck Luke in.
Oh, right.
But he ends up chucking Boba Fett in it.
Oh, yes.
The little...
The wormy thing.
Yeah,
the June worm.
Boy.
That's a June worm.
It is. All right. You can see the question. I'm going to read it out anyway. Which US national park was used as Endor for filming of Return of the Jedi? Yellowstone, Acadia, Sequoia, and Redwood.
Jeez, this is tough. I want to go with Sequoia or Redwood.
I was thinking Redwood, but
Yellowstone. I think is the obvious. I don't know if that's just a red herring or not. I've been to Yellowstone, but
yeah, did you see that?
No, I didn't. That's what makes me think it's obviously it's just a couple of trees and. Oh, look, let's just guess something. You guess one. You guess this.
You said Redwood or Sequoia. I said Redwood or Yellowstone. Let's just lock in Redwood.
Okay.
We got it.
Man, we are on fire. We're on a sex question. 6-question streak.
A sex question streak.
Sex question.
In The Empire Strikes Back, what does C-3PO say are the odds of surviving a battle asteroid field? This is a good one.
I think it's going to be the one.
Is it 37 to 1, 3,720 to 1, 1 in 6 billion, or 1 in 7.36 million?
I'm thinking the one in 7.36 million.
It's either that or the billion.
Because I feel like C-3PO would give a more precise answer. He'd go to 2 decimal points on that. The chances of it being just straight 6 bill,
Impossible.
I think he's gone to 2 decimal places.
Yeah, you like that 2 decimal places. Could be a great red herring. Let's see if I can remember the line. He says something. The odds of surviving an asteroid field are 1 in 7.36. That doesn't sound right.
3,720 to 1. It's 3,720 to 1. It's 3,720 to 1. I think it sounds right.
I think it's the 7. I still think it's the 7.36 million. Why? But the billion.
Because why would you? Otherwise, it makes it unforeseeable that they will survive.
It was bullshit when they survived.
1 in 3,720.
Even that is a bullshit survival rate.
He says a number to 1. He doesn't say 1 in this. He goes 3,720 to 1. I think is the line.
All right. I'm going to go with it, man. 3,720 to 1. Wow. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Hey, you know what this is? I see my mum do quizzes on Facebook and stuff, or she'll click that clickbaity link bullshit that says one in. Have we just been clickbaited?
Yeah, we got.
We've been got.
We got, man.
Or are we? Yeah, I think we've been got. How many questions are in this thing? We're only 10%.
I'm worried. All
right, let's roll.
All right, Theed is the capital of what planet? Tatooine, Coruscant, Naboo, Felucia.
I don't know. Coruscant.
You want to speed run this where possible?
Yeah.
It's Naboo.
Okay. See?
What is the first spaceship seen in A New Hope?
In A New Hope, Republic attack cruiser.
Republic attack cruiser, Star Destroyer, Death Star.
It's a Republic attack cruiser.
Or Tantive 4.
I don't know what Tantive 4 is.
You know what Tantive 4 is? It's the correct answer.
Oh, my God. I thought that was, interesting.
Hey, what colour is Aunt Beru's milk that she serves with breakfast?
What are the options? Yellow, green, blue, and purple.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with purple. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you it's blue.
Man, you're too good.
What is the name of the Wookiees' home planet? Mustafar, Kashyyyk, Yavin, Camino.
Do you know? I don't know.
I do. It's Kashyyyk.
There's 3 Y's in a row in that.
Yeah, they're Wookiees, man. What was the character of Luke Skywalker originally going to be called? Anakin Skywalker, Justin Valor, Luke Starkiller, Kane Starkiller.
I think, is it Starkiller? Is it Luke Starkiller?
It's Luke Starkiller. Yeah, he's spot on. According to the Coruscant Standard Calendar or Galactic Standard Calendar, how many 24-hour days does 1 year have? Oh, this is bullshit. I have no idea.
So this seems like some fan fiction rubbish.
There's not 24-hour days on every planet. This is a bad question.
Bad question. It's
Galactic
a bad question.
Standard. Ugh.
We get to one question, we don't know the answer, and it's a bad question. Go with 375.
375? Oh, it was one of those two. It was either 375 or 368. I think he did a great job.
All right, let's just go to 20 questions.
Yeah, let's get our percentage out of 20, and we'll figure out if we've passed or not. Speaking of time, The Force Awakens takes place 34 years ABY. What does ABY stand for?
I was about to ask you, what does ABY stand for?
Well, here it is. After the Battle of Yavin, anti-binary years, Anakin Boba Yoda, or after bot years.
After bot years seems like was there a battle in Yavin?
Yeah, there was. That was when the Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star.
Force Awakens takes place. Oh, okay. Well,
that's a bit of a hint. Yeah. Good job. After the Battle of Yav, the name Yoda, I should know this, was taken from the Sanskrit word that means what?
Is it a Sanskrit word? That's awesome.
Professor, wise, warrior, or dwarf?
Surely wise.
Yeah.
Oh, pow.
We locked in
Warrior.
wise. It was
Warrior.
warrior.
Sanskrit is an interesting language
Mm.
because it's onomatopoeic. So it's to do with the sound of life, the world. It's supposed to be a really beautiful language.
Yeah, well,
Unspoken. It sounds fantastic.
I guess that makes sense. And then you've got the sort of Egyptian sort of hieroglyph style, which is more pictures making sounds, which is very strange.
Pictures making sounds.
Yeah, so like the sound, the early sound of a bird, they might draw a bird and it's just meant to carry a certain sound in their language. Because it'll be the beginning of a name, or it's very strange. Let's get to 20 points.
Getting close.
13 out of 16 correct if you're playing at home. 4 questions to go. Okay, what is responsible for the color of a lightsaber? Do you know this?
No.
All right, it could
Here
be
we go. Here we go.
The force of the one holding it, gas, light, filaments, crystals.
It's crystals or gas? I think it's crystals.
Crystals. Good job. So you're fine. You got Star Wars knowledge. Which of these battles took place first? The occupation of Bespin, the Battle of Yavin, the subjugation of Geonosis, or the Battle of Ryloth?
Well, I'm going to go the subjugation of Geonosis.
Let me think.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
I think you could be right.
I know none of these.
I think you're right. You're wrong.
The Battle of Ryloth.
Both of those things took place in the Clone Wars. So you were close. All right, what is it? I hope these aren't getting harder, because we're going to do the first 20 and be like, that was easy.
Whole sense of security, yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of General Grievous's ship? Is it the Invisible Hand, the Ruthless Palm, the Twisted Finger, or the Dark Wrist?
Oh, I love it how they've all got this element of hand and
You got an adjective. The Invisible Hand, the Ruthless Palm.
Okay, I'm going to have to rule things out. It's not the Dark Wrist.
I don't think it's the Twisted Finger either.
It's not the Twisted Finger. So it's either the Ruthless Palm, which sounds... I think it's the Invisible Hand. It sounds like, you like
that?
Yeah, it actually makes sense.
Let's go.
Like... The Ruthless Palm. Can you imagine if you had a ship called the Ruthless Palm? People are like,
what? Make a lot of sense. We're not slapping anything.
Yeah, the Dark Wrist.
I preferred the name that they were almost going to come up, which was the Ruthless Palm Dark Wrist.
What's this thing underneath? Quiz writer Charlie. Charlie took to the written word like a fish takes to water.
Are you reading his bio now? Here we go.
They used to say they found themselves immersed in literature from before they were born.
Ooh, hang on a minute.
They've been known to tell their friends how they can still remember the passages their parents read to them when they were utero.
Wow.
Emily Dickinson, Jane Austen, and a bit of Hunter S. Thompson thrown in there to balance it out. What is this guy on about? He thinks
this is his bio.
Charlie keeps their feet wet, whether they're whipping up pithy one-liners to tease your brain or busy working on their second novel. The first one is available on Amazon under a pen name they refuse to disclose.
Wow.
You're sure to get a kick out of giggle-worthy explanations and outrageous hints, and still come away feeling like you've just expanded your knowledge base.
Look, I think I speak for everybody on the internet when I'm saying, Charlie, release the book.
Don't put it under. Don't put it under a.
We probably shouldn't talk.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Who is Boba Fett's mother? Is it Elara Fett? Is it he doesn't have one?
Oh.
Is it Jango Fett, or is it Kill-E Fett? Kill-El Fett? Oh.
Who's Jango Fett? That's the only one I recognise.
Well, that's Boba's dad.
Okay. So let's get rid of... Can he not have one? Could he just come straight out of Jango Fett's pee hole?
Yeah, he did. He sure did. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
He's just
I
got
never
really
realized this
fertile.
before. But Anakin is immaculately conceived, yeah, by the
No.
Force
Oh,
in
really?
Shmi Skywalker. Yeah, he's got a bit of a Jesus thing going.
Wow. I didn't
She was
even.
immaculately conceived by midichlorians, right? Which were the little life forms that allow Jedis to use the Force. Anyway, I never realized this, but George Lucas always said that he wanted the trilogies to rhyme, and I never figured out this rhyme, which is Anakin had no dad. He was born of the Force, and Boba Fett had no mum. Because Boba Fett is a clone of Jango. He's a direct clone.
Oh.
And all of the clone army are Jango Fetts. Yeah? But Boba's the
Yeah.
only unaltered one.
Ah, okay.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, no, I did. Now that you say it. Yeah.
It's a bit of a story that develops during the second episode, really. And you sort of learn that Django's the donor for the clone army. And he wanted in return a unaltered clone to call his son. So he doesn't have a mum. And Anakin doesn't have a dad.
What responsibility to be the one that the clone army is going to be based on?
Yeah, he was just picked for his, he's a solid bounty hunter. He's good on his feet, can use a gun, all that sort of stuff. He's like perfect warrior, I guess. He must be.
I wouldn't like the idea of if I was getting propagated, infinite amounts of time forever, because I don't know. I feel somewhat responsible. I don't know. It's weird.
They're all your children.
Right?
Are you worried?
Yeah, I'd rather the culpability, like the liability issues associated with that, kind of scare me. Like I know they're separate legal entities, but they're kind of also me.
Oh, but the whole universe is at this point. So it's okay. It's just another part of you, right? But not really you, because they grew from embryos. They lived a childhood away from you, I guess.
Oh, the nature versus nurture type argument, yeah.
Not only that, but in Star Wars at least, the clones age very fast, so that they can get them to fighting age. So they die young as well. Whereas Boba Fett, he is an unaltered clone. He doesn't have the old age hormone, so he just gets to live a full life. Yeah, your clones, we haven't really figured out whether or not they're going to have accelerated growth. But that does change the situation a bit, because in about 10 years' time, they'll be older than you, telling you.
But also you're sort of stunting evolution, because you're not getting that sort of cross-pollination with other another one of your species.
That's true. What if they do the whole they clone? It's not really cloning at that point. It's just state sanctioned childbirth, isn't it? If they just got, they pick people, you and you, that would be the one.
Well, don't like China. Well, I mean, lots of places probably do that, but I mean, what Yao Ming's the classic story, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which I think we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
The captain of the female volleyball team and the tallest man. I think it was the tallest dude in China.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I'm sure they do that. Man, it's going to get so weird. And I'm sure it's happening now. But as you mess with DNA in I guess, eggs and things, in sperm and eggs, and select for certain traits, or I don't know how technical they can get with it now, but it's going to be soon. There's going to be virtually superhumans in terms of you could, in the same way you can sort of do this naturally just by taking, two tall people, and you're more likely to get a tall person. You take, really athletic people, or something with great sort of muscle tone and things like that.
We're going to outsource the what do you call it?
It's just going to be like soon one country is going to start doing it. And then everyone's like, say I have children soon, and all of a sudden, if you hear that you can give your children some kind of a bit of a leg up because we can just select from your sperm and your eggs available, like more
that's what I was going to
favorable
say.
combinations.
You just like remove sex from the equation, right? Don't have sex to make babies. Don't be a fucking chump, all right? It's a bad way to do
I'm
it.
sure we'll get rid of that.
It's a bad way to do it. Have sex, sure.
It seems risky, doesn't it?
Have a bit of fun, right? But
you got millions of sperm that you just put in there, and you're just like, let's see who wins.
Well, it is like because I've said it before on this podcast, but it's the sort of thing that I say to my dad. I go, this is the sperm that won, right? This is the winner. This is the best. I'm the best of the best. I'm the one in a million.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the one that won, bro.
It's fascinating.
And it can be, for some people at least, the only race they ever win in their whole lives.
It's a good race to win, though. It's the one you want.
It's the most important one.
It's the most important one.
Yeah, it's the most important one. You win the race, then you never to win a race again, never to recapture that racing glory. It's probably why funny. Racing must be great. It must be great to win.
This is a win that you never really celebrate, do you?
I think we can reflect on it now and celebrate it.
But you don't act like it's an achievement that you're sort of proud of.
It's not given the gravity it deserves, which is you just won the lottery.
You won the lottery. Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah.
Now you get to experience.
Yeah, exactly.
The universe.
The rest of the sperm, their experience of the universe is shorter than yours.
And it's not as enjoyable. I don't think it's as enjoyable. I mean, I can't. Yeah. I don't recall.
You don't think it'd be any good?
Don't recall what it was like. It would be hectic. I think because I've been in races before. I was in a race. Well, it wasn't a race on the weekend, but there was 1,600 riders, and I found that a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
I just can't think what it'd be like if I was on a water slide with a couple million other.
It's not just a water slide, man. It's a water slide where if you don't get to the finish of the water slide, you will suffocate and die, right?
Could you imagine if you – yes, that's true. But can you imagine if you could experience what it is like to merge with an egg and exchange
Interesting.
You both bring one copy of each of the 23 chromosomes and you match with the other with the egg which is supplying the other copy
23
of the chromosomes, and you exchange and you become like a normal double
this is normal.
A normal cell. You become a cell with 23 pairs of chromosomes. And you're the first one. That's the first. You were once one cell.
Well, I wasn't. I started out as two.
No, you were one, unfortunately.
Medical miracle. No, but it brings up something quite interesting, right? Because if we can, let's say, what I've been told about the brain is that it doesn't delete anything. Your ability to recollect does tend to get worse, right? But the actual hard data is still in the brain somewhere of pretty much everything.
So is that like confirmed?
That's what I've been told.
I've heard that before as well. Freaks me out.
So imagine if we could hook you up to the machine. We're hooking you up to the machine today, right? It will delve back as far as it can. Okay? Now, once we get back to that stage where you're a fertilized egg, right?
Yeah.
You got both pairs. You've got both pairs. We could probably go back to there, right? Maybe not, because it would be the brain going back, right? Not actually the person.
Yeah. I think it would be the brain that can sort of register the experience and
So
you have to retain the memory. What's fascinating, man, is I don't want to weigh in on the abortion debate because I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But if you take a very strict medical approach as to when the fetus is alive in inverted commas, I think they say it's a heartbeat because your system isn't isn't really operating like. Again, I don't know enough about this, but they say that if you take a very strict medical approach, it's 48 days around that point from, I think it's from the, what do you call it? What do you call it when the sperm and the egg meet? Fertilization. 48 days until you have, I think it's the heartbeat, and like I think at the same time as you get a heartbeat, you kind of start getting activity in the brain. I don't know. I can't remember what one or the other. But anyway, 48 days. The I think it's Hindu or Buddha. I've got no idea. A very, very it's ones that believe in reincarnation. Is that Hindu or
I
Buddha?
think so.
I think it's both. It could be both. I'm just making so many generalizations. This is the most vacuous thing I've ever been going on about. But they believe they have a ceremony 48 days after someone dies, because that is when they say, this has just been their historical thing about what they do. 48 days after someone dies, they have a ceremony, because that is when the deceased is reincarnated into another animal or human. Sure. I don't know, because I thought reincarnation, you can come back as anything.
I thought so too.
Yeah, so maybe they think that they come back as another human. That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense mathematically.
No, but I remember seeing that fascinating link between the 48 days, what this ancient thing do. I know it's just a coincidence, but still, it's a cool one, because then you have these people coming along saying we're taking the strictest medical approach as to when something is alive. They'll say 48 days. I was like, that's pretty cool, because that's when they do the ceremony for the reincarnation.
Fascinating. But
Boba Fett doesn't have a mother.
Boba Fett doesn't have a mum. I think that's we locked that in. So did we do it? Okay, so we did it. We finished the Star Wars quiz. We got 16 out of 20 correct. That's a pretty good. That's a pass. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Like, you would have passed that on your own. I think I would have struggled.
Yeah, no. I'm tempted to see what the rest of this quiz is all about, but I'm also
save it. No, just rip through it after this.
No. Only reason is because I want to see like their bullshit claim about 3% of people. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it'd have to get pretty damn hard pretty quick.
That's how they got me, because they said only 3%. I'm like, they got me.
It's how they get everyone. That's how they get everyone.
Scum.
Hey, let's make out the title of our next YouTube video. Only 1% of people will know what the fuck we're talking about. Yeah, that's true. It'd probably be great. And then everyone will be like, whoa. I mean, they want to know. It's like an ego. It really challenges your ego.
They can. Yeah. They can.
They'll be like, I could be the 1%. I saw a headline today that was cool that you'd like, because you've played Minecraft before, haven't you? You know what's going on.
Of course. I've played Minecraft. Yeah, sure.
Have you heard about this guy who's like trying to make the whole observable universe or something?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Maybe a week or so ago. I saw a couple of pictures from it where he remade the Horse Nebula and a few other things. I don't know how he's doing that to scale though, right? Like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm calling bullshit on this.
Is this another one of those like only 3% of people can pass this Star Wars quiz kind of link? Because
I think it might be.
The man makes the observable universe in Minecraft. I mean,
I was like, that's just absolutely ridiculous, right? Yeah. And how do you make it all to scale?
Well, you wouldn't make it to scale.
Your computer would crash.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it to scale. You can't make it to scale.
It's really cool what he's done. Like, it's cool. It looks cool. He made a black hole.
Yeah.
That looks awesome. And he actually had some real problems with like getting it to work properly. You need to check that out. And he kind of does a bit of a fly through type thing, but he does a bit of the universe where he's on the outside looking in to the whole universe. And but then he does a bit like a couple of you've got you see.
Yeah.
And the planets, and it's pretty cool, but it's not he's not making the whole universe on Minecraft. How do you do that though? Like, how do you do something on a large scale? Does he have some kind of building
He's probably running a
types.
shit ton of mods. That's the first
No,
thing.
he is running mods.
That's the first step, because obviously what he's doing you can't do in like regular Minecraft. It doesn't look anything like Minecraft because it just looks like Universe Simulator. So
It does, but what's interesting is Minecraft isn't built to do this kind of thing.
no,
Like it doesn't even have like he had a lot of problems with the shading of planets because you know how like like the Earth, it will look like half of it's in sun and half it's in shade.
yeah,
So he has to
no,
replicate the dark and the light sides of planets.
it's pretty interesting.
That was really hard for him, but he like manually puts in light blocks and dark blocks.
Yeah, to get the shades right.
And the
Pretty
rings of
mental.
Saturn apparently took him days. But yeah, so he's done the whole observable universe in 2 months.
Get out.
Or, his claim.
How do you even make that many clicks?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there must be some kind of thing where it just generates. Like, don't you get to a certain point, it just kind of like fills in the gaps or something?
Look, there's some pretty amazing stuff that people can do now.
So he did make the solar system, and I
Yeah.
think he did all the planets to scale.
Wow. How?
Which is impressive.
That's not possible.
Oh, I think he did. But then he did. Do you know the famous? It's called the Pillars of Creation.
Isn't that the Horse Nebula?
It's the Eagle Nebula. But it's just one of those animal nebulas, really. Just another animal nebula. Yeah. So that from one side to the other is something like in the order of 1,000 solar systems across. Do you know what I mean? The distance of our solar system. So the distance from the sun to Pluto is, X. It's 1,000 X's across that. That is...
Yeah, but it's so far away. So it looks really small.
Do you remember the controversy about Pluto being relegated from a planet?
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't think there was much controversy about it.
Well, no, but people were up in arms about it because it was considered a planet.
Mm.
So you have all the textbooks, you have everyone growing up for. I think it was discovered about in the 1930s. I think.
Yeah.
And so it gets classified as a planet. So you got like 80 years or so where people are,
What's it classed as now, though?
It's like I think it's called, it's a dwarf planet now.
Dwarf planet. Have we got a bunch of them in the solar system?
Yes. That is one reason why they had to.
Interesting. Because I've just seen here there's a dwarf planet called Ceres.
Yeah.
And it's between Mars and Jupiter, so it doesn't orbit either one.
No, that is the largest planet in the asteroid belt.
Never heard of it though.
No, neither have I. But it's very smooth apparently.
Looks all right. How is it so smooth? I mean, it looks pretty beat up, right?
Yeah. So I think I don't know how to pronounce it. The Kuiper belt, Kuiper. How would you pronounce that?
Isn't it the Kuiper?
Kuiper? Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds Kuiper. That sounds, no, that's right. Kuiper belt. That's got to be right. But they reckon Ceres may have an ocean and possibly an atmosphere.
Excellent.
Apparently it's an icy world that's tantalized scientists for years.
Well, we're getting on the thing?
I think so.
Can you believe that it was discovered in 1801 and we're talking about doing shit at it? Like, yeah, let's go get it.
When was it discovered? 1801.
1801.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting because it is quite I think it is quite reflective. The surface of Ceres Is that Ceres?
Yeah, I
Ceres
have no idea.
is generally as reflective as freshly poured asphalt, whilst the spots range from the dull sheen of concrete to the startling brightness of ice floating on Earth's oceans.
Amazing. I see that now. I see the ice. Definitely a bit
I
of
was
ice
reading about
on it.
Ceres the other day actually because I was reading about Pluto. That's what I've got.
Are you sad about Pluto? What's going on?
I don't think I'm sad about it because I think it makes sense because if you're going to consider Pluto a planet, then you have to consider, or you should be considering Ceres,
Ceres, yeah.
and a couple of other ones. They put a submission in when they had this big thing in 2006. They had all the planetary scientists had a vote as to whether Pluto is in or out, and some people
Why
put
would
in
you vote on
submissions
that?
because there's a lot of different ways of classifying a planet. So
Oh,
it's
we need
like,
a vote?
yeah, well, it's like is there one person that has the authority to say how something should and should not be classified? They thought they would take it to the the
To the
whole
highest court
body,
in the land.
and they have vote. But then people were really upset because only I think 5% of people voted on it. Yeah, 5% of the world's 10,000 astronomers participated in the vote. And people said there was this famous dude of saying that NASA dude of saying that he's embarrassed for astronomy because everyone sat on the fence.
Okay, sat on the fence. I mean, when you go to school and you study this stuff, right? Because they would have been told Pluto's a planet when they went to school, when these professors went to school.
Mm.
Back then it would have been taught as a planet, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take a lot of that 10,000 to like stack the numbers on one side or the other. If you don't have to be the most correct, you just have to be the most active in this case. Get the most amount of scientists to say Pluto's a planet or Pluto's not a planet.
Yeah,
Why is there this cunningness in the science world, though? Shouldn't they be all looking for truth and all the rest?
They should, but I mean, they should. But I think there's a few. Like, so Ceres was initially categorized as a planet when it was discovered. And then and for whatever reason, I think it was just smaller than all the other planets, right, at the time. Mm-hmm. So they reclassified it as, I guess, either a dwarf planet. I don't know when. See, that wasn't a big deal.
They binned it.
Yeah, they've already binned one before, but apparently binning Pluto was such a big deal.
Why is it such a big deal? It's not even as far. This one's closer.
They say that one thing about being a planet, you know how I said it's all about classification? One thing that defines a planet as a criteria as a planet as we know it is it has to have cleared its orbital path of debris. That's like a sign that you're a big boy. And so Ceres is in the asteroid belt. So how can you say it hasn't cleared?
Why is that part of the classification? Clear of debris.
Yeah, that's just
Isn't Saturn's rings a bit of debris?
No, but that's it's so big that everything revolves around it in its area. I mean, I don't know enough about it.
All right, the bad news is that Pluto's way bigger than Ceres.
Yes.
That's why Ceres never got a kick.
I don't think. I mean, I think our moon's bigger than Pluto. So you're going to say our moon's a planet now?
No, our moon's a moon. Our moon orbits something.
Yeah, but if you're just going are you saying size is?
No, I'm just saying because I wanted to go into bat for Ceres. I wanted to get Ceres back classified as a planet, and what I needed was for it to be bigger than Pluto, and it's not. I wanted it to be bigger than Pluto, so I could be like, let's get it involved. It's right between Mars and Jupiter. We need another planet in there. We could stick another one in there, right? You know what I'm saying? We could use another one.
It's fascinating, though, isn't it? I've actually got an article. Why is Pluto not a planet? Okay, so I'll answer your question. So the IAU, the International Astronomical Union, defines a planet
guys.
as a celestial body orbiting the sun with a nearly spherical appearance, and that has, for the most part, cleared debris from its orbital neighborhood.
For the most part.
Yeah. It says, but even this set of metrics is not universally agreed upon.
You ever heard of a planet called Eris?
I have.
What the hell is that?
That's a dwarf planet.
Further out than Pluto?
Yeah. It was one of the, I was reading about this as well, one of the first dwarf planets to be discovered in the solar system, almost the size of Pluto. And its discovery led to Pluto's demotion. Because once they found that, they started realizing that, what we just, are these all planets now? So they started to reconsider.
Eris nuked Pluto.
Yeah, it's funny because I think Eris is the Greek goddess of discord and strife.
Mm-hmm.
And she stirs up jealousy and envy and causes fighting and anger among men.
Ooh.
So it's funny that Eris led to this stirred up the controversy of whether Pluto is or is not a planet.
I think that Ceres probably houses alien life, and that the people who decide planets didn't want us to know that there even is a planet just outside of Mars that has extraterrestrials flying around in spaceships, to sort of like make sure that we don't ever look into this Ceres planet. Now we are looking into it. The cat's out of the bag now, And who knows? I always thought I'll be alive when we discover the aliens, right? I think I'll be alive when that happens.
I think it will be.
Yeah, right. Here we go. That's a good in our lifetime.
I didn't know that one issue with Pluto is it has a eccentric orbit.
Fuck!
It's so far from circular that it's actually closer to the sun than Neptune for 20 of its 248 year.
That is an exciting time.
Yeah.
When you're cruising around in the solar system, you're back in. You're back in.
And Pluto's got a massive moon as well.
Massive for Pluto, I guess. Sure.
It's nearly the same size.
What, really?
Yeah. So
why was Pluto ever named a planet then? It's just like a moon.
One suggestion for the total number of planets in the solar system when they had this vote was 12, and that's including Ceres, and Pluto and Pluto's moon Charon and Eris.
Whoa, wait. Pluto's moon is named Charon?
With a C.
And that's a moon.
Yeah.
5 natural satellites that orbit Pluto. Hey.
It's its biggest one.
Holy shit.
These dwarf planets are pretty awesome though. They don't get the recognition that they deserve.
No, they don't. Especially this Ceres one with its ice. It's got ice. Can we get some it's in our neighborhood. We can get there.
I think it's got quite a lot of ice as well. So Ceres may look dry and grey, but probably held a liquid ocean in its past.
Yeah, we just need to dart it back. Bring it home. Chuck it in the ocean.
You know how I said water is quite rare on Earth, and I was crapping on about that for a while?
That's what I mean. Bring it home.
Ceres has a density of 2.09 grams per cubic centimetre, leading scientists to conclude approximately a quarter of its weight is water. This will give the dwarf planet more fresh water than Earth contains.
That is always they always fuck you with these like amazing statistics, right? Because I'm looking at a picture of the solar system with Ceres just a little dot there, and I'm looking at Earth and I can see the ocean from here. from the outer parts of the solar system. And what you're telling me is if I drop that in there, it's bigger.
Yeah,
More
well,
water.
as I said, there's so little, but see, they're being a bit sneaky because they say more fresh water than Earth contains. And you know how I told you how little fresh
Yeah,
water
how
we have?
rare it is.
It's only like
Represents like 3%.
2.5% or
Yeah.
something, yeah. So I think this is the thing, you can make any
Sneaky.
statistics. Like I could,
Yeah.
it's a bit, yeah, but they've observed plumes of water vapor escaping from Ceres at 6 kilograms per second. Don't know how they get that accurate, but
They're just making it up, man. One day we're going to find out that the space people haven't, they're not doing anything. They just made it all up.
they made it
And
all up.
if you want to hear a fun fact about space that was in the news this week from a long time ago,
Yeah.
the first and only cat was sent into space.
Just recently.
No, on this day in history.
Oh. And what year was that?
I want to say like 70s, but
Why the fuck would you send a cat?
she was a Parisian cat who was part of the French space program.
How was she a part of the French space program?
What do you mean? They were going to put up like rodents to test, but they put the cat in instead.
So did they
here's an interesting thing.
Did it go up with humans, or they just put it in the spacecraft and just launched it?
Yeah, they would have just launched it alone, dude. Solo travel.
So it's just freaking out. Like,
bloody oath, it's freaking out.
Where was its food? How does it get food?
Spaceship.
So is it bouncing around the spaceship?
No, it's in its chair.
Strapped in? What?
Strapped in.
How did it get its kibble?
Dude, it would have just figured it out.
Yeah.
Biological rocket payloads were preceded by rats, so rats before the cats, and followed by monkeys, monkeys after the cats.
Okay, so they worked their way up. That kind of...
So here's the fun part, right? 1963, there's the year. She was one of 14 cats that were trained for spaceflight. That means strapping them in a chair and yelling at them, I guess. I don't know. What else would training entail? What do they do?
Maybe they show them how to eat. Maybe that's part of the training.
Oh, yeah. Here's your kibble and fucking rah! Because you got to like simulate a rocket taking off, which is quite loud.
They probably put her through some G's.
Yeah, put you through some G's, just before you kibble. And so here's what they did. The cats had electrodes implanted onto their skulls so their neurological activity could be monitored throughout the flight. Wow. Okay, so the capsule was recovered 13 minutes after the rocket was ignited, so plenty of time to get some kibble in, to have some kibble, sort of relax on the flight a little bit, and then get her. So they retrieved her. Most of the data from the mission was of good quality. She survived the flight, but was purposely killed 2 months later for the examination of her brain.
What does space change your brain?
No, they just wanted to go, look, we've got the things that we've implanted in your brain. We've got all that data. Thanks for that. But we are going to need to have a look at the whole thing now.
And how traumatic for that cat. Firstly,
That's
not only do they send it to space.
Yep. Comes back. Bang. She obviously knew too much. She probably saw something up there, like a spaceship or something. And then they said, no, you can't go to the press with this. You can't go to the press with this. And she said, I'm going to the press, meow, to the press with this. And then they got her. So here's another fun fact about this, the space program, the French space program. A second cat was launched and killed in a launch mishap in 1963.
Oh, mittens.
So later that month, or no, a week later, they did another cat and it died. Fucking hell, guys.
I hadn't got enough cats up there.
So you're probably wondering, if they use the electrodes that they had to sort of ask the cat if it's a willing participant in all this. Yeah? They didn't.
No?
No. It says here, The participation of this Felicette in the space race was certainly not voluntary. Can you believe it? They said it wasn't voluntary.
That's someone's pet, or do you reckon they
bred for space travel?
Bred it for space travel, and so no one had an attachment to this thing because we're like going to put it in a rocket, and rockets they're not inherently safe. Like if someone said you can take a rocket to work,
yeah,
I'll probably politely decline.
Or a car. Yeah, I'll take the car again.
Who is it? So I think, I don't know. It's one comedian points out that none of the rocket scientists get in the rocket. I think it's Joe Rogan.
Is it Burr?
Oh, it might be Burr. It's one of those two.
Yeah, they're not dumb enough to get on one of those fucking things. Yeah,
they sit there and behind a bunker, they're watching this thing go up.
Gonna work. Yeah, I don't know. It might be even CK. I have no idea.
Yeah, it could be. Speaking of reincarnation, I was thinking about this the other day.
Oh yeah.
If there is reincarnation, right? This is what I said. I thought you can come back as any animal. I thought that was part of the deal.
Yeah, come back as any animal.
So me and the girlfriend are pretty nice to old little luff man.
As you should be.
Yeah, and we are, and particularly girlfriend. Absolutely loves him.
Yeah, he gets spoiled.
He gets spoiled. And what I found fascinating is that there is a chance, if reincarnation is a real thing, that if they both died in a car accident or something, I know that's horrible, but I'm trying to line up there. Maybe actually that doesn't make sense because what I'm saying is they could switch positions.
Right.
Luff could come back as a human.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend could come back as Luffingham's dog.
Yeah. And do you think they'd be loving it?
They will. It's my girlfriend's dream to come back as Luff's dog, because if Luffingham loves her as much as she loves Luffingham, she is in for the time of her life.
That's true.
And this is why you always need to be nice to animals.
Because you might come back as being owned by them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The roles might be reversed. I don't think you think about this, right? We were in a privileged position. You had better, I reckon we should sort of start releasing some of these battery chickens.
It's a good reason to like become full vegan and stuff, right?
Could you imagine, right now, how pissed off you would be if you came back as a battery chicken and you realized that you had a chance
to end battery chicken
as a human, to make a stand and end battery, and you did nothing, and you'd be livid. You'd be livid.
I deserve it. No, I deserve it. You deserve it, right?
Yeah,
that's sort of justice. But it maybe but if that was applied to everything, you'd think twice about pretty much eating anything, because you'd be like, I don't know if I'm eating, I don't know, my granddad or something. I don't know. Like you go and even if you're like one of those ethical hunters, right? Shoot a deer in the woods or whatever with your bow and arrow. I don't know.
But that's fine.
You just shot your bloody.
That's fine.
Shot your bloody grandmother.
You come back as something else. You had a good life. You were roaming. No, you were killed as presumably you only kill the sort of older ones. So you've passed on your genes.
Oh, so we're cool with killing as long as they're old. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
is that what we're saying? I'm not saying that.
You might become an old pest. You might be a moose that's gone around, causing havoc. And
sure.
You can't.
But age alone can't be a death sentence. It is.
Well, what happens if you're a crotchety old moose and you're stopping, you're killing other mooses, right? Now you got to go. You got to go, mate.
Yeah, but they don't go, well, how do we do this in a sort of natural way? Be like, no, we just wait for a hunter to come along with a hat on with the stripy, with the red cross on it. The red, what's that called? The pattern.
Crosshairs? Oh.
No, the pattern on their shirts.
Flannel, sort of.
Flannel.
cross
He's wearing like a flannel
check,
shirt,
a bit of a
like,
check
or
shirt.
jacket,
Yeah.
flannel jacket, and he's going to shoot you in the head. That doesn't sound.
But you know what? You know what? You know what's
That's not
better?
very
You know
nice.
what's worse than that, right?
Yeah, go on.
Is netting the moose and then making it a battery hen, like putting it in conditions where it can't walk. You know, you like or pigs like can't even turn sideways. They're in their little pen. They're just there to get fat. Like that's the cruelty. That's like the real cruelty where you can't even be an animal. So what's okay, I think, is a quick death if you've lived. Yeah, you've lived free.
Yes.
You do your things. You pass on your genes, and then all of a sudden something bad happens, and that's it. And then you get reincarnated. You move on, and you're something else now. It's not even so bad.
Sure.
As
Hey,
long as
some
you-
people think like you got to do good things in life to get the heavenly reward, right?
Yeah,
Be a
who's
good
making
Christian.
that judgment call? That's a big
No,
one.
no. Be a good person. You get to go to heaven. Live a good life. You get to come back as something good. Like if you live a bad life, you'll probably come back as something bad. So, at the start of your life, you pick your most favorite thing you'd like to turn into at the end for reincarnation, and you also have to pick like the worst one,
No.
and then you have to strive in your life to make sure that you don't get the worst one.
What's the worst one, you reckon?
Whatever it is for you, it has to be it's personal to you, man. So if you come back as any animal or a human again, you can come back as a human again, but you don't get to pick who. What are you picking?
Oh, come back as a human.
What are
I
you?
think humans are disgusting.
So you don't want to come back as a human?
I want to be like a beluga whale or something.
Okay, so beluga whale is the good side. That'll be great. What's the worst outcome if you were reincarnated into an animal? What's the worst one it could be?
I think a cockroach.
Cockroach,
but they survive nuclear blasts, so
not the blasts.
Maybe if it depends on the situation. Maybe I do want to be a cockroach if shit goes down.
Right. So you're swapping them? Are we going beluga whale on this side and cockroach on this side?
Oh, it's really circumstance dependent because I don't really want to be a whale if I'm if like whaling becomes a thing again, or if I'm in Japan.
Whaling's not going to become a thing again. You're going to be fine.
What if I'm in Japan? What if I flaneur my way into Japan's waters?
Just go back down to the bottom. Go back to Antarctica. Go back. Otherwise, yeah, they're coming for you.
Oh, we had a big discussion about animals, and I landed on the deer.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but that's for another episode. Yeah. Luffingham, we're not talking about you.
I think coming back as a dog is obviously a pretty good option.
No, you laughed at me when I said I'd come back as Luffingham.
I know, but I do think it's a good option in terms of lifestyle. But it doesn't really like what I had to go at you at for that is that you weren't chasing a new experience. You wanted to live in a house with a nice fire on
girlfriend.
And just be fed and be under the same roof and all that sort of stuff. You weren't thinking about it like a lion prowling the Sahara for a fresh kill. Like, you know what I mean? You weren't going there. But no, I have no idea what I would do.
Well, I mean, we were chatting about. I reckon just for the experience, I'd consider coming back as a bee.
Yeah.
Do
a backflip. Fucking impress the queen. Become the queen, maybe.
Yeah, maybe even eat the royal jelly.
I
looked up some information about bees actually after our discussion. I just want to send you a photo because there's a photo that, let me just get it right. It won this year's Wildlife Photographer of the Year competition with, I think it was like BBC Wildlife magazine or something.
Okay.
So this is in Discord. You know I was talking about bee bowling?
Bee bowling?
Where the bees bowl the queen.
Yeah, they suffocate the queen, right? They go and fucking get in there and like wreck her like Julius Caesar style.
Yeah, but no knives. They
No
just rub,
knives, but they just gather
they rub
around her.
against her and make her all warm and kill her. Well, this bee ball apparently is the moment the male cactus bees envelop a single female, and they're trying to get lucky and mate with her. But I thought they were trying to kill. I know that they do kill the queens in the same way. So like,
Are they trying to have sex with her?
apparently, but
Oh,
I
so
don't.
the bee
I
ball
think.
is like a free for all in. Everybody go try and get it in,
Well, I think
and
they
that's why
might
they're
have the
all rubbing.
situation all wrong.
Right. So what do you mean? It's not that she doesn't die.
Well, that I know that's how they kill her as well. So, like, how does she know whether she's having a
Yeah.
a
A
really
nice,
good
nice
time,
regular gangbang.
yeah,
Or whether
regular
or not it's
gangbang, or if they're trying to kill her
death bang.
because a death bang, because it could quickly turn.
Holy shit.
So, I mean, this is kind of, maybe I don't want to be a female bee.
Well, you don't pick your gender, right? The jelly does.
Actually, this is not what I read.
What?
So 99% of bees are infertile female bees. They're the worker bees.
Oh.
A few hundred male bees or drones are in the hive of like 500,000, and there's one mother, the queen bee.
And all the drones are banging the mum. And all of the bees are either just doing their job or rubbing up against it for the rubbing up in the ball for just shits and gigs.
Rubbing up in the ball, trying to just get in there, be part of the action, maybe.
They don't know they're infertile, right?
No, I don't think they are infertile. But look, I can't remember these facts. So,
well, you said all the ladies are infertile.
Sorry, yeah, but then, yes,
until they get the jelly.
Yeah, perhaps till they get jelly. But look, I'll work my way through some facts. I don't have all the answers right now, but we can speculate. We can speculate about all this stuff. But I think a lot of the things that you're talking about are going to be answered.
Great.
So yeah, a colony has 50,000 bees.
Is that all?
That's it. So 99% infertile worker bees, and so we got the terminology right. A couple hundred male drones. And one queen bee. And I like calling people like, you say, oh, you're the queen bee. It makes you feel quite important.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of the queen bee,
yeah,
this is the second fact. She will mate only once in its lifetime.
What?
Yeah, it seems unusual. So that's the bee bowl. That's why the men are so keen on getting in there.
Right. And how long is her reign?
I don't know. But the mating normally occurs in the first 10 days of her life.
The best time.
And she goes on a mating flight to mate with about 15 to 20 drones in midair.
That's so cool.
So is she collecting all the sperm of all the drones? Or is
she's trying to pick the best one, whichever one gets in, right? Best one wins.
Maybe it's different because it says here that then she'll store about 100 million sperm in her spermatheca for its entire life.
Okay. I know what's going on here.
So she's getting
all spermed up, and then she'll go back to the hive and, spit out a few thousand, I guess. Is that right?
She is just copping a bukkake and filling all her pockets with sperm. And she's just like, this is the one time.
For the winter.
For her entire life of winter.
For her whole life, yeah.
So this is when the next fact will make you not want to be a queen bee, because she can lay twice her body weight in eggs each day.
Nah, I'm pretty down with that. That sounds pretty rad.
That sounds painful. Could you imagine passing? I could, what do you weigh? Like 60, 70? Weighing, passing 150 kilo of anything through you.
Yeah, a day.
How do you even eat that much? This doesn't make any sense.
I reckon it's just like
how do you even convert food to eggs in a day?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Well, you know what? It's okay. This is where the facts get you, right? This is where the facts.
We need the facts.
A queen bee can lay twice its body weight in eggs each day, but that could be one day in the year where she gets hugely fat. And then she drops. She does an egg drop.
Yeah, like an NFT.
And her normal body weight, it's almost like her normal body weight might be her, not her egg weight, minus the egg. So it's like if she weighs 1 gram normally in walking around fight weight or pre-fight weight, pre-cut. And then she comes in and she puts on 2 grams of eggs, but she's been training. She's doing a preseason or some kind of like fight, lead into the fight, whatever that thing's called. Okay, so that's
fight camp.
Camp. The next one's not very good. Bees have 4 wings, 6 legs, and 5 eyes.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, they got 5 eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
I could use 3 more eyes.
Yeah, so only 2 of them apparently they're the big compound eyes that see everything, and then you have 3 little ones. They're kind of hidden. They're just for light detection, really. It's how bright, just when's it morning, when's it evening. But have you seen they have very good ultraviolet light ability to see ultraviolet light. They see ultraviolet and reds really well, but they don't see blues very well.
What does that mean?
Wait, no. It says here bees cannot distinguish red colours well at all. Okay, ultraviolet I think is closer to blue.
Yeah,
in the light
infrared.
spectrum. Yeah. So what that means is,
what do I wear? What do I have to wear if I want to avoid the bees?
That's a good question. I don't think our clothes are really designed with ultraviolet in mind. But flowers, which rely on pollinating insects, like the bees who do the lion's share of pollination of all plants in the world, they want to attract these sexy creatures into their lair of pollen.
Yeah. So let's look beautiful.
So their flowers with a UV filter can look way different to what they look like in the visible spectrum.
Interesting.
So you should look up a couple photos of flowers like UV compared to normal. It's pretty cool.
What, in UV light?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, interesting. They've got veins and structures that you can see, and you can see all the goodies.
They've got unseen patterns that you can't see with our eyes. Don't detect them because we're not geared like that. But the flowers obviously are evolving with the bees are responsible. So they are evolving with the bees.
Bees are responsible for the flowers getting all funky with it.
Yeah, under UV. So it's cool. We miss out on that. That's like a little tiny bit of reality that we
don't miss out on anything, mate. We don't miss out on anything.
We only, what do they say? We detect 1% of reality or 4% of reality.
Yeah, but when you say we don't, you're not thinking about this universally enough because like the bee, right? It only sees that. It would be fascinated to see it with our eyes. A regular flower, it'd be like, oh my God, but it's so different.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's so smooth and lovely.
Imagine if you could detect the whole electromagnetic spectrum, how wild and confusing it would be.
Can't we just wear some glasses?
Maybe. Yeah, I suppose we can see.
Can you wear UV glasses and look at flowers and see prettiness? Is that a thing?
We touched on this last week about bees communicating with the waggle dance.
Yep, get a dance on.
So the worker bees can tell other worker bees which direction and how far food sources can be found.
I think we touched on that last week. They do a jig and it sort of describes where the flowers are.
Yes, it does.
They're like a musical. So people gather around and they go, oh, what's on today? And they'll be like, oh, man, someone's singing a jig. Someone's singing a song about flowers down the street.
Maybe we can do a musical podcast episode. You know how all
that'd be great.
TV shows do a musical?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can't sing very well, but so
I know you don't need to sing well to be a musical. In a musical, can you dance?
Oh, I think I can, but I can't.
Can you act?
Definitely not.
And can you sing?
No.
You have passed 2 out of the 3 requirements needed.
Okay, I've only got 2 facts left very quickly, and I actually like this first one. I tell people all the time, and it will change your experience of honey. A honeybee will produce about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its lifetime.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one before. That's despicable, isn't it? They should get more.
Because when I put a teaspoon of honey on anything, I don't think jack about it. I don't think anything.
But what you're looking at is the entire life's work of a bee.
12 creatures.
Of 12 bees?
12. Because 1/12 of a teaspoon.
They're pretty lazy, man. I reckon they could get a couple more out in their lifetime.
Well, I've heard it was 1/30 of a teaspoon before, so this is like quite generous.
Get more honey, guys. Seriously. It's embarrassing.
And the last one is quite interesting. It's a bit of another Jesus sort of moment, another Anakin moment. Guess what it is?
Well, it's that they don't have mums, right? Or dads.
Yeah, drones don't have a father.
What?
They only have a mother and a grandfather.
What?
The drone is created from an unfertilized egg.
Get fucked.
And inherits all its genetics from its mother and its grandfather. This is known as parthenogenesis.
Okay.
So this is what I mean. When you said you choose whether it's a male or a female, apparently the queen bee will decide whether the egg is going to be fertilized or not, depending on whether she needs men or worker bees.
Right.
And so
she's essentially having an abortion.
But the abortion is just a female.
What do you mean?
No, the drone. The abortion is
a man. But he's an unfertilized egg.
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean? She decides whether or not she wants to make it a thing.
So the drones, so the men are the drones being the men don't have a father. So she just decides not to fertilize the egg and it becomes a drone. And so it's just the queen bee's genes.
Oh yeah, and her grandfather's.
And her grandfather, because she is a male. She has two sets.
Okay, but the worker bees have dads.
The worker bees have dads. Yes.
Wow. Okay, there you go. Holy shit.
That's pretty wild.
That does change the way I look at honey.
One thing I wanted to mention before I lose you is it's currently League of Legends Worlds at the moment.
Is it?
The group stages. It's happening. Okay. I'm not going to give you too much. Like, there's just group stages. They're just, but group stages are exciting because you don't get top teams in one region playing top teams in another region very often.
True.
In fact, it only happens twice a year: MSI tournament and Worlds.
Yep.
Where
there allows other small teams to like get around and have a go.
Well, you just can't. The ping's not good enough to play, like, for people in the US to play people in China,
unless they fly them over.
Yeah. And so they only really get together twice a year. But there's this team called the Gigabyte Marines who are from Vietnam, or the VCS they call it, and they're playing a team called Top Esports, which are the number 2 seed from the LPL, which is the Chinese league.
Okay, so they're a big deal.
Yeah, the Chinese league is huge. This is the number 1 team in Vietnam, but they only get one representative because like their league's pretty rubbish. But the Gigabyte Marines, to be honest, have been there the last few, like maybe they've missed a year here and there, but probably the last 5 years they've been there 3 times.
Right. Wow.
And you play in the group stages. There's 4 teams in it, and you're playing each other, and the top 2 teams in the group go through to quarters. So you play 6 games. You play each of the teams in your group twice. Gigabyte Marines were 0-4, so they were already eliminated. But you play the rest of your matches, of course, because the other teams might need the wins. Top Esports were 1-2, so they're both struggling a little bit. But Top Esports are a damn good team. Wow. So just to give you the picture, because I'm just going to get to the final moment of the game, there's Gigabyte Marines have Mountain Soul.
What's Mountain Soul?
It's you get a bunch of buffs from it. Wait, I mean, are you saying that for someone else's benefit or yours?
Both.
You get a bunch of magic resist.
Buff?
Yeah,
Is it
it's a dragon
buff?
buff. Yeah, when you get the 4th dragon.
So when you kill the dragon, you get a buff in the game, right? So that's all right. They've got a good buff. What does it do?
A good buff, and this is if you get 4 of them, you get an extra good buff. They get heaps of magic resist and heaps of armor.
All
You
right, so
almost
they've got
become
that.
quite unkillable. It's a huge advantage, and it means you're more likely to close out the game, but not ridiculous.
Okay.
And after a team has Mountain Soul having 4 dragons, the dragon becomes a thing called an Elder Dragon. And if you have an Elder Dragon, your damage has massive burn. You have amplified burn.
Yes.
With all your spells and attacks and things. So it's 17 kills to 17 kills, about 40 minutes in. So not super late game, but you're in late game territory. So Gigabyte Marines wipe top esports in a bit of a kerfuffle that's going on. And top esports only have 2 members left. Gigabyte Marines have 4. So they move on to the Elder Dragon, the Elder Dragon. And with that buff, they're probably going to end the game. Like basically when someone has Elder Dragon, it's almost lights out because it's that's an extra big buff. Like you think Mountain Soul's a big buff, Elder Dragon's an even bigger buff. And their top esports 2 people sneak in there and somehow steal Elder Dragon.
Okay. So a bit of a big deal.
And then they wipe them with the 2 of them because it's such a big buff. Almost wipe the team out. They're getting slayed a little bit by the Elder Dragon. So Gigabyte Marines only have Ornn left, and the others, the top esports guys, have been respawning in the meantime. So they have their whole team, or they have 4 members. Sorry, so they start knocking down the inner ring of turrets, not the Nexus turrets. They start working their way in there. Ornn ults the minion wave. To try and clear the wave so they don't get that sort of the turret
get onto
bonus.
the Nexus turrets.
Yeah. Okay. So he pretty much almost eliminates the whole wave. He does well, and he sacrifices himself to kill the cannon minion right when they're at the Nexus turrets. So he probably saves about 5 seconds.
It's going to be the game. Yeah, it saves the game at that point.
Yeah, because he's waiting for his team to respawn, maybe to have a chance.
Yeah, that was fucked. Yeah.
All right. So he dies, and I think anyway. So they're working on the turrets, and then so they're killing the Nexus turrets. Just when they kill both the Nexus turrets, 2 of the other team come alive. So it's four members basically attacking the Nexus pretty much. But one of the guys that respawns is a barely fed Karthus. Right? And so he instantly Rs, which is just it basically does a whole bunch of damage to everyone. It's a weird ultimate where it just kind of
does damage to everybody.
Yeah, it's a bit of a broken spell in a way, particularly sort of late game. He absolutely eviscerates them because they're on sort of half to 3/4 health because they've just been like buffs, tanking turrets.
All sorts of stuff,
he fucking eviscerates them. He kills one of them. Then the other guy who respawns for Gigabyte Marines, Set, comes out and ults the ADC away from the Nexus. The Nexus comes down, and the other 3 are crippled by this ult as well. And then they're all respawning, and they just run out and neck the other 2. And there's 10% of the Nexus life left.
Yeah.
And then they take the minion wave, which hasn't even respawned yet, completely coast to coast. And then they have a team fight on the opposing Nexus and get the win. So pretty much the exact situation they were in that they were virtually team fighting, although Karthus' team fight is a bit broken. It was a fucking insane ending.
It's kind of funny that you watch League of Legends Worlds and stuff.
I love it.
Because you don't really play it much anymore, but you still watch it.
Yeah,
I don't watch it. I still play it a little bit. And then another friend of ours doesn't watch it, but plays the ranked mode only. Like he's a real serious ranked guy. So then like one of us is like a casual. That's you. I'm a hardcore casual. And the other guy's a casual hardcore.
Yeah, he is. That's the way of saying it. But what you need to do is do yourself a favor and look up GAM, being Gigabytes Marines acronym.
I'll check it out.
And
Yeah,
Top Esports. But look up the casters on the late game, because they do the NA, the North American casters, which obviously being in English is great and you can understand them.
Yeah.
Then they do the Korean.
They must be getting pumped.
They're pumped. But then neither of the teams are their team. Yeah, but Worlds is in the US at the moment. So then they do the Korean ones, and the Koreans love like video games. Let's be honest, they love League of Legends. They're the most dominant nation at it.
Mm.
They make all these really hearty noises.
Yeah.
And a lot of gibberish.
Yeah, but yeah.
They just get into it. They're just screaming and pumped. It's really fun to listen to because they're having a ball and they're very excited. And then you can hear the Vietnamese commentators, and they've got a bit more, they got skin in the game, because they've got their number one seed, going against the, some big names and doing it's definitely the game so far of the tournament.
Wow.
And it's worth just, checking out, even if it's just for the commentators.
Yeah. I'll definitely find those highlights from that game. Check it out. Oh, good stuff, man. We'll be back next week. Chuck us an email. Have we get any emails?
Don't think so. We'll just check at the end of the year. Surely there'll be a bit of spam in there.
You reckon there'll be an email at the end of the year?
Yeah, we'll have an email by the end of the year. I guarantee it. It. Don't make me a liar.
Hey, that'd be great. All good. See you next week.